Apple just partnered with one of its oldest rivals to bring Google's AI directly into your iPhone. This isn't a leak. This isn't speculation. It's official, and the implications for the entire AI industry are massive. Stay with me. To understand why this deal is such a big deal, you need to know what Apple Intelligence actually is. Apple introduced its AI system to bring smart features directly into its devices. Things like rewriting your emails, generating images, cleaning up your photos, and making Siri actually useful. But here's the key thing most people miss. Apple built this system in layers. The first layer runs entirely on your device. Your iPhone, your Mac, your iPad, using Apple silicon chips to handle most AI tasks locally. That means your personal data, your messages, your calendar, your photos, none of that leaves your device during normal use. Apple has been very deliberate about that. They call it personal intelligence, and the privacy angle is central to how they've positioned the whole product. But local processing has limits. Some tasks are just too complex for even a powerful chip to handle quickly on its own. That's where the second layer comes in. And that's where Google Gemini enters the picture. When you ask Siri something that goes beyond what the on-device model can handle, Apple can route that request to an external AI model. They launched this capability with OpenAI's ChatGPT first. The idea was simple. You stay in the Apple interface, you get a world-class AI answer, and you're always asked for permission before anything gets sent to an outside service. Now Google Gemini joins that lineup as an option. You can choose which external model Siri hands off to, ChatGPT or Gemini, depending on your preference. Apple isn't replacing one with the other. They're giving you a menu. Think of it like choosing which expert to consult when your local doctor says you need a specialist. Apple is the doctor. ChatGPT and Gemini are the specialists. What's remarkable is that Apple managed to bring two of the biggest names in AI, two companies with their own competing interests, under the same roof inside your iPhone. And that choice you now have, that's more significant than it might first appear. Now here's where Apple's architecture gets genuinely clever, and why privacy-conscious users should pay close attention. When a request gets routed to an external model, Apple doesn't just dump your entire context into the cloud. The system is designed to send only what's necessary to answer your question. Your contacts aren't going to Google. Your text history isn't being uploaded. The on-device layer acts as a kind of gatekeeper, stripping out personal context before anything gets forwarded. Apple has also built something they call private cloud compute, a system for more demanding requests that still need cloud power, but where Apple claims your data isn't being stored or used for model training. That's a bold claim, and Apple has invited external security researchers to audit and verify it. Whether you fully trust that architecture is ultimately your call. But it's worth noting that Apple has put serious engineering effort into making the privacy story hold together under real scrutiny, and that's something you don't always see from the competition. Let's take a step back and appreciate just how unusual this partnership actually is. Apple and Google have been rivals for decades. They fought the smartphone wars, iOS versus Android, the App Store versus the Google Play ecosystem, Apple Maps versus Google Maps. Google has long paid Apple a substantial annual fee to remain the default search engine inside Safari. That deal has drawn serious antitrust attention from regulators who argue it entrenches Google's dominance. And yet here we are. Google is now not just powering search results on your iPhone. Its AI is potentially generating your Siri responses too. There's something almost poetic about it. Two giants who spent years fighting over your home screen are now collaborating on the most intimate layer of your digital life. The AI assistant that knows your schedule, your messages, and your daily habits. It's a reminder that in tech, today's rival can become tomorrow's infrastructure partner, especially when the stakes are high enough. The real story here isn't just about Apple and Google. It's about what this partnership signals for the entire AI industry. Think about Apple's position for a second. They have well over 1 billion active devices in use worldwide. When Apple says a particular AI model is available on iPhone, that model instantly gains access to one of the most loyal and largest user bases on the planet. That's enormous leverage. By opening Apple Intelligence to both ChatGPT and Gemini, Apple is essentially telling every AI company in the world, if you want to reach iPhone users at scale, you'll play by our rules. Apple controls the interface, the privacy layer, and the user experience. The AI providers get the distribution. It's a calculated play, and it keeps Apple from being locked into any single AI partner. If one provider stumbles on quality or raises prices, Apple has alternatives ready. Apple has quietly positioned itself as the most powerful gatekeeper in consumer AI, without needing to build the most powerful model in the room. So what does all of this mean for you, the person actually using an iPhone or a Mac every day? In the short term, the most practical change is choice. You'll be able to pick which AI handles your more complex requests. If you're a Google Power user, deep in Gmail, Google Docs, Google Calendar, Gemini might feel more natural and more connected to your existing workflow. If you're already using ChatGPT regularly, sticking with that integration makes sense. Over time, having these two providers competing inside Apple's ecosystem should push both of them to deliver better answers and more useful features. That competition benefits you directly. The bigger question worth watching is how this affects the assistant landscape beyond Apple. Microsoft has its own AI deeply embedded in Windows. Google has Gemini across Android and its own app suite. Amazon has Alexa. The AI assistant wars are just getting started, and Apple just made a very deliberate move to stay at the center of them. Here's the bottom line. Apple didn't just add a new AI feature. It built a multi-provider architecture that turns your iPhone into a platform for some of the best AI models available, while keeping Apple firmly in control of the experience and the privacy guarantees. Whether those privacy promises hold up over time, whether competition between providers inside Apple's ecosystem drives real improvements, and whether rivals can respond effectively, those are the questions that will define the next chapter of AI on mobile. This story is moving fast, and we're going to keep covering every major development right here on this channel. If you want to stay ahead of what's happening in AI and tech, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. And if this video gave you something to think about, a like goes a long way in helping more people find it.